All right, in this video, I'll share with you 15 reasons why you should not open up a business in Dubai, UAE. Okay. Um, Now, I generally get comments or questions from people who want to come down to UAE, want to open up a business. Some of them say, I'm thinking of opening this. What do you think about it? Some even book sessions with me. Some talk about investments. And I tell them that I'm giving information limited to my experience. So take it with a pinch of salt. And it might sound like I'm being totally negative, but if things are going to work out, great for you. You don't have anything to worry. But if things don't work out, then you have to be mentally prepared what you're getting yourself into. So here are 15 reasons why I would discourage anyone from starting a business in UAE. Have a look at the reasons, and you can tell me where I'm wrong, and feel free to disagree with the points that I've stated. And mind you, for those of you who keep jumping the gun and saying, oh, he's a hater, he's butthurt and all that, listen to the content and then tell me where exactly I'm wrong. Okay. See, the first reason why you should not open up a business in UAE is the biggest reason is if you are asking me, if you are asking somebody else, should I open up a business? That itself is reason enough not to open up a business. Why? Because you're seeking assurance, you're seeking validation, you're seeking approval, you're seeking like, hey man, should I open up a business? You should not be asking anybody this. If you're truly a businessman, if you're truly someone who's capable of doing something, you should not go and ask other people. If you are asking other people, either you don't have common sense, or you don't have confidence, or you don't have the ability, or you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Why are you asking somebody else? And that also someone who doesn't know you. Now, even if they know you, let's say your mother or father or somebody knows you, what experience do they have in business? They might, out of love and affection to protect you, say, no, please don't do it. Or maybe they glorify you and believe in you so much. Yeah, you start anything, you'll achieve success. If you're someone who truly is, has belief in himself, you will never ask anyone. You think I asked anyone before getting my face tattooed? You think I asked anyone before getting into consulting, coaching? No, I didn't ask anyone. You don't ask anyone. You do it. You do it by yourself. So the first very thing is, if you're asking somebody, then you should not get into it. Now you'll say, yeah, but what if you don't know a market? Yeah, if you don't know a market, then you should go there, not ask somebody else. It's like me asking you, hey man, the country where you're staying, how's it? What you'll tell me? Yeah, it's good, man. Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. Yeah. So does that mean your experience is going to be my experience? Come on, man. Each one of us, you might have the most amazing luck. You might be a multimillionaire. Does it mean I'm going to be a multimillionaire just because you became, or you're an absolute pathetic failure? Does it mean that just because you're a failure, I'm going to be a failure? No. So you should go there and not ask anyone else. Go there physically by yourself. Yeah, do your research, ask people's opinion, but you have to go there. And people's opinion, you ask 10 different people one particular question, you'll get 10 different opinions, man. So the first one is, if you're asking somebody else, the most clear-cut answer is, don't do it. That's number one. Number two is, what is your experience in business? Okay. Now, obviously, someone who's starting business for the first time, you would not have any experience. But then, if you're starting for the first time, always remember, whatever you start new, you are bound to fail. You will fail. So, in other words, it means whatever money you are going to invest into that venture will you'll either lose it, you'll burn your fingers, or you'll never get it back. So, if you do it when you're in your early 20s, fine. What if you do it when you're in your 50s, in your retirement? Do you know how many people have lost their entire life savings at the age of 50 or 60, only to say, oh, why did I do it? Oh, why did I do it? Once you do it, you can't undo it. Once you pay the money for the rent, once you opened up the trade license, once you purchase products and you started supplying, you're not going to get that money back. You're not going to get the losses back. And I especially pity those people who have taken their life savings or at the verge of retirement or at the tail end of their career and taken a risk. How can you start all over again, man? You don't have the youth of your 20s. Now in your 40s, 50s or 60s, you're taking, you don't have time. So what do you know about business? And if you don't know anything about business and it's your first venture, you are mad because you will lose. There is no human being on this planet who with zero experience made a successful business and made it survive and thrive for the rest of his life. Very rare cases, very, very rare. It's like winning a lottery. And just because someone else did it doesn't mean you'll do it. Remember, for every person who has done it, there are maybe 20, 30, 100 people who have failed and lost everything. So if you don't have experience of running business in your DNA right from an early age, don't get into a totally new venture. And if you have experience in business, don't think just because you did one line of business, every line of business you'll succeed. Just because you have a successful supermarket doesn't mean you can run a successful, let's say, retail outlet store. I know of a guy who runs a restaurant. He decided, I don't know for what, he took my advice and started this tailoring business, and then from there he started a trading business. Then he started an export import. I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? He said, no, Loy, I'm making money here. I know, I have the business acumen. You don't know, I have all of them closed down. And his restaurant that was doing very well, he had to take money from the savings, from the profits to pay for all the losses. And to this date, he regrets. Over a span of 6 years, shut down everything. So just because, remember, even if you have business experience, stick to what you know. Remember, everything else, the chances of failure are up to 99%. And we are talking of a period of 10 years. 10 years. Year 1 is something different. 2, 3, 4, 5, it gets harder. Number 3, what is your experience? If you have been an employee for the rest of, most of your life, all of a sudden you want to be an employer, those are two different things, man. See, I give you one of the videos, where the guy, he was working as a chef for the restaurant owner, and the guy built him up, took care of him, took care of his wife, gave him free housing, gave him free everything, almost like a partner, but he wanted more. So being a chef, even though he was an employee, he still started his own new restaurant. And it has been only a few months since he started a competing brand. He's already suffering like crazy because before he used to get a salary on time, now he doesn't. Before he didn't have to manage staff, now he has to manage so many staff. Before he didn't have to pay water, electricity, he didn't have to worry about all those expenses, now he has to worry. Before he didn't have to negotiate in terms of raw materials, now he has to constantly do that. Before, he didn't have to sit and wait for a customer. He didn't care, customer came or didn't come. Now he's literally standing at the door and asking people to come in. You see how life has changed? And before I used to see him always joking and happy. Now he's like this, he's stressed. Hardly a few months. And I know for a fact, even though he's not saying, he's regretting it. Because he has also taken loans. So, if your experience has always been as an employee, you jump and become an employer, you are not going to succeed, boss. It's a learning curve, and a learning curve has tremendous amount of expenses, mistakes, and you'll be paying through your nose. Number 4, what do you know about the product? What do you know about the service? And what do you know of the complete, supply chain? Let's say you know how to make coffee. Great. You're a good coffee maker. Like that guy. Great chef. Applause. You know how to make good food. But now if you're thinking of running a business, just because you know how to make coffee doesn't mean that you know how to run a business. Okay, let's say you know how to make coffee and serve coffee. Good, you know the service. But do you know how to market and sell the business? Do you know how to manage, let's say, the SEO, the social media? Do you know how to advertise? Do you know how to negotiate rates with the suppliers? Do you know how to, negotiate with the bank? Let's say for finances, do you know how to get new customers, sign up new companies to take from you? Do you know how to speak to delivery people? Do you know how to retain talent? Do you know if something is not working out well, how you can repair things and get things done? Before you only had to worry about coffee, now you have to worry about 110 things. How are you going to manage, man? See, keep in mind, It's one thing to be a specialist in one area, and another thing to specialize in all the areas. And if you do not know where a product originates from, who are the core suppliers, where you can get the best rates, how you can negotiate the best rates, you're asking for trouble. And a simple thing like a restaurant. Do you know that the greatest expense is food? And not only food, the fluctuating cost of food, and then to keep the food fresh, and you have to sell it off because it is a perishable item. And if you don't sell it off, it's completely in a loss. See, people don't think about all this. And why would someone come to your joint, man? And can you keep getting people every hour? Or is it going to remain empty for most of the time? How many people have shut down their businesses? Number 5, how many customers do you currently have? See, when I started my coaching business, I didn't have coaching clients as such, but I had people who were taking my services for coaching. They were not paying me any money, but I had people who would pay me for emceeing shows, making announcements, organizing events, weddings, DJing. So I had a revenue stream of some customers, but not related to coaching. Okay? True story. This is what I did. Where coaching came, I had to do it for free. So now I had to monetize this. But I had customers whom I could at least charge $1. $1. Imagine. Today I charge $237 an hour. That time $1 was all the courage I had to ask. Then it became $5. You know, if you have seen my video, when I started off nearly 12, 13 years ago, I was shy to ask $1. Then it became $5. Then for the whole day service or whatever. So slowly I started to build up. So I had existing customers who were taking my services even though they are paying me peanuts. Do you have customers? Do you have a repeat, let's say, demand for it? Are people asking you, hey man, can you supply me the cakes you made last time? It was really nice. I'll pay you some amount of money. Oh, can you cook something for me? Oh, last time you repaired my stuff. It was really great. Can you come and do it again? So if you have something and someone is willing to pay you, guaranteed, fine. But if you have a company that says you make this product, we'll buy it from you, that's not a guarantee. That's just a proposal. And they can change their mind. Maybe they'll go for someone cheaper. Maybe they'll say, now we don't need it. So don't go that way. Go with a guaranteed list of customers. Don't just depend one, like all the eggs in one basket. And the person should pay you in advance. And you should be able to deliver. If they don't pay in advance, it's only words. Words mean nothing. So how many customers do you have? Number 6 is, what about guaranteed business? What about recurring business? Let's say a person takes a service from you once. Okay. You served him. Is he going to come back again? If no, then you'll have to get a new customer. Like, for example, me, most of my customers are new customers. They want a service. I give it to them, help them achieve what they want. Done. It's over. But then every time to get a new customer takes a lot of effort. And the customers that I get have been following my content 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years. Okay? Some even more than 12 years. So they know my brand value and then they approach me. But now if every customer of mine was only one time, then I have to keep hunting for new. So I have other customers who take my services every time. They take it every week, every month. There are repeat customers. So that is how I'm able to survive and sustain, because I don't need to market and sell myself. So if you are running a business where you have to introduce yourself every single time and ask for an opportunity, and in my case, remember, people come to me. I don't have to say, this is my card, please give me your business. No, they come to me. They know what I offer. But in the other line of work is where you have to take your business card and give it to them. And you have to convince them to come to you. And then if they're happy, will they come again? Or it's just one-time thing and then this is not my thing. Then you're in trouble, right? So you need to have a list of customers that keep giving you money so you don't have to keep sourcing them out. Okay? Number 7, this is a painful one. How much are you willing to lose? Now, the thumb rule is, whatever amount of money you put into the business, if your business fails, you lose it all. You lose the money you paid for rent, it's gone. You lose the money for the decor, It's all gone. You lose the money for the furniture, whatever fittings, you might get 10-20%, but rest is all loss. Your staff that you trained, blood, sweat and tears, time, they will leave you and go. The people who developed a relationship, who you marketed and sold and tried to get your customers, they will go. So everything that you put, every single thing, you will lose. So the question here is, before you get into business, you must be aware of the fact that every single thing you put into this line of work, you're not going to get the returns. Most probably you lose it all. So are you prepared? Can you stomach this? If you cannot stomach it, please don't get into business. Because people assume it'll be, let's say, $100,000. I'm just giving you a rough figure. It is never the same amount. It always goes double or 3 times more. Because as time goes by, you have to keep investing more. You have to keep putting more. There'll be repair work. There'll be furniture, fittings, requirements from the municipality. There'll be maybe fines. There'll be extra stuff that you have to spend. Expenses just pop up from anywhere and everywhere. Maybe there's a damage. Maybe there's some new rule that has come. What do you do? You have to spend money. And remember, all this money that you spend is in the business. And the day business goes, you lose it all. So, can you get into business knowing that whatever money you're putting, you're ready to risk it all? Number 8. Okay. Let's say you ran a business. Okay. Let's say you ran a business. You got a couple of customers. And very soon the customers get bored of you. Okay. You targeted new customers. They tried you. They got bored of you. Okay. If your business is dependent on one area and all of them have tried it and now they have stopped, now what do you do? Tell me, have you ever thought about it this way? Let's say you're a restaurant or you are a service provider. They tried you. They liked you, but you're nothing great. And they have other options. And there are people who are cheaper than you. What do you do? And let's assume you open a mobile shop, accessories, and you are the only one in that area. Everyone knows you, everyone loves you. All of a sudden, one fine day you wake up and you find a new mobile shop there. A competitor to you. And now people have, I can either take him or them. And maybe they'll be loyal to you, but they'll go there. What do you offer? Hey, since you're new, I'll give you at 10-20% cheaper than him. Okay, so now you have competition. One fine day you wake up, 2 more shops have come. And one day, 10 shops have come. So before you had 10 customers all for you, now you have each customer that can go to each and every option. So each one of you will have just one. Now what do you do? All the money you put, all the effort you put, all the creativity you put. Now, can you get rid of the competitors? You'll say, no, my product is superior. Well, you think nobody else can copy you? Nobody else can make a product better than you? So think about this. So customer came once. You thought he's going to be very happy for life. But now he has other options. And it's not just only your line of work. Let's say you are a restaurant. I'm giving you an example. You're Indian. Guy opens an Italian restaurant. Then a guy opens Mexican. Then a guy opens Arabic. Then a guy opens French. Then a guy opens Thai. Then a guy opens Pakistani. Now, they are not the same as you. You're unique. But one person can eat only one kind of dish per day, right? Okay. Now, let's not take it a restaurant. You're selling restaurant. There is a convenience store that gives you food that can be packaged. Okay. Then there is a person who will cook and deliver homemade food. Then there is another place that says, okay, instead of wasting money on food, why don't you buy this device or this game? We'll give you at installment. So now where you could spend money on food, you'll think, if I save this money for 1 month, I can buy that product. So you see, money can be spent on so many other options, right? A person who has limited amount of money has to choose, do I spend here or do I spend there? Why should they come to you? These are the things you need to think. Number 9, if you are the only person who runs a business and you fall sick, who's going to run the business in your absence? Like if I'm sick, I don't think my wife can make the video. It's only me. What if something happens to you? Can someone else run it? Okay, let's say you go for a holiday. Your staff is not going to work harder than you. Your staff is not going to put more interest, more passion. No. So can your business still function? And you'll say, yeah, why not, man? One bad experience. Do you think the customer will come back again? Maybe if they're very close to you, they'll give you the feedback. But most people may not. Can you afford to be sick? Can you afford not to be there? Be realistic. And let's say you trust, oh, I have a business partner. Can you trust your business partner blindly? How many relationships where the person has trusted their business partner, even taking down and writing, still something has happened? You think there's no possibility? There is. I'm not saying that it's impossible. But is it totally dependent on you, or are you depending on someone else? And if that someone else falls sick, like I have this guy who put my CCTV, for the past 6-7 years, he has been putting my CCTV. Every year when he comes, his staff, he upgrades my camera. His staff is new. I asked him, what happened to the old guy? Oh man, he left. Oh, he got a better job. Oh, he got a girlfriend. He got married. And he has to start the process all over again. And when he is sick, he can't depend on his staff. Because without him, the business cannot run. So even though he has an assistant, he still has to be there. So consider that. That itself is not easy. Number 10, you have a partner. You know, when you're going to get into a partnership, it's all exciting, it's all fun, honeymoon phase. Tomorrow, if your partner changes his mind, what do? Or let's say you're getting into a venture where you have the financial muscle, he has a technical prowess. And one day, for whatever reason, he decides, no, I don't want to work, or he dies, or he moves on, or he gets a better offer, or things don't work out between you two. Now, you have the financial muscle, yeah, no need to worry. But technically, if you don't find the replacement, what do, man? And if things don't work out well, see, when things are romantic, things are nice, everything is hunky-dory. But when person's agenda, priorities, life, situation changes, they're not going to give a fuck about you, man. They'll say, boss, I have to go here. What do you do then? Then you're stuck, right? Or if you are technically very good, but financially, he's running it. Now you don't have the money. What do? Or, let's put it this way. You are very good at sales. He has the product. Now, what will you sell? Or, if technically you're very good and he's doing the sales. Or, you're very good at, having the product. He's very good at managing people. And now there's nobody to manage. Can you do everything? So keep this in mind. It costs you business. It costs you opportunities because your competitor, maybe he doesn't have these problems and he will overtake you, man. And once you lose a customer, very hard to get it back. Then number 11, in Dubai, UAE, this is one of the biggest problems is payments. What if they don't pay you on time, which is guaranteed it happens. This is the biggest thing. They don't pay on time, or bad debts, or they cheated you, or they ran away, or something happens. This happens so much in UAE, I can't emphasize. See, to get 10%, let me give you a perspective so you understand. Let's say you're selling a product for $100 and you 110, $10 is your profit, okay? 110 dirhams worth product, $10 is your profit. So you sold one, you got $10 profit. You sold two, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So after 11 transactions, you can actually make one more, okay? Or after 10, the cost of one product. So cost of one product is 100, you're selling for 110, you make $10 profit. Now, if this product of $100, one guy takes and doesn't pay, now you have to generate 10 sales to compensate for that one product. You got it, right? Now just imagine if that person were to purchase 100 units. Now you don't have to sell 10, you have to sell 100 of them to cover that loss. What about 1,000 units? So you understand what I'm saying? If someone takes your product and either they are a fraud or they are genuine but they made a bad decision, they didn't get paid, they can't pay you, what will you do? It'll destroy you completely. All the effort. I know of some cases where a person has worked hard for 10 years, saved the money, they took part in one big project, they were not paid. Maybe it's the government. Maybe the government itself did not pay. Maybe they'll say, we'll not give you for 6 months, we'll not give you for 2 years. You have to hold the PDC. And then when you want to get the money, they say, okay, before we agreed for 1 million, but now we can only pay you, if you want 50%, we'll give you right now, others you have to wait indefinitely. Your margins may be hardly 5%. But imagine if they're asking you to take a loss of 50%. These numbers will shock you, but they are actual facts. What if someone cannot pay you? What if it turns out bad debts? And PDCs and fraudulent cases, dime a dozen. Just read the papers. Number 12 is, this is the biggest challenge among all, is managing talent, getting the right people to replace. It's very hard. It's impossible to get the best talent. Yeah, American companies say, yeah, retain talent and this and that, and they'll quote Jeff Bezos or Yusuf Ali, or those are very rare individuals, my dear. You're not them. You try managing 5 people. Forget 5. Manage 2 people. Try managing 2 people. Make them work. And when they are offered better opportunities, when you have competition, when they are ready to pay them more salaries, why will they stick with you, man? You think just loyalty because you're their, first employer? Don't you think you have bigger goals? You want to earn more money? Don't you think they have the same? And, people's mentality is, he's paying me 10, but he's generating 100,000. He's paying me 10,000, he's generating 100,000. Their mind will be like, fuck, man, if I start my own business, I can also make 100,000. They'll think like that. Don't you think like that? Oh, I'm generating so much for my employer. Why I should be paid less? I want to get paid more. People move on. They will get married, they'll have children, their expenses will rise. It's very hard to manage talent. And for every talent, you have to train them. That makes it very hard. Number 13, how many days can you run a business without money? Every time there's a holiday, businesses hate it. Why? Because when it's a holiday and they have to give others a holiday, your bills will run, water, electricity, trade license, salaries, all you have to pay. But that day there's no revenue coming in. Okay, if you're in a restaurant business and people will take a holiday, come more, fine. But then if you have to pay them overtime because it's a declared holiday, guess what? You're losing money. So every time there's a holiday, companies are off, employees are off. Employees are very happy. They're getting paid and they're getting time to enjoy. But you as an employer, you are going to bloody suffer. And if it's a 5-day week, 2 days are off. If there's a traffic jam, they come late and they have to leave on time. Guess what? All this matters. When there were rains and floods and all that, you couldn't deduct salaries from your employees. It's not their fault. And if you try that, they will name and shame you on social media and your brand will get affected. So how many days can you run without revenue, man? And I'll tell you, just go for a walk. See how many restaurants, see how many service providers, they're sitting empty. The employees are sitting and they're looking at their phone, they're sitting like this. See an outlet, go to a shopping mall. You'll see people just standing, walking. Nobody is inside. That is all expense. The owner of that shop is like, oh man, what do I do? How do I get a footfall? People are worried. So how many days can you live without revenue? Number 14. When I ran my mother's health club, which was the gym we had in Sharjah, Rola, in UAE. I knew how to run the gym. I had promotions and all ideas and concepts and made it run like crazy. It was big. We were selling juices and proteins and supplements and programs and coaching. It was amazing. But you know what shocked me? After all the money that came in, after all the expenses that were paid, the salaries, the promotion, the vendors, the suppliers, water, electricity, when we divided the salary between the people who are working, me, my mom, dad, we just got $1,500 per person. That's all. I think there were 4, 5, 6 people or whatever. $1,500. I was like, fuck. After having like hundreds of thousands of dirhams, we were literally counting money every single day. So much money, stacks of it. We were left with $1,500 per person. Like, what the fuck, yeah? And I was really scratching my head and is this worth it? Like, you work 24/7. Yes, we were enjoying it, but we were working 24/7 and that's all. And then I understood why so many gym owners who had branches and branches, 30 branches, 15 branches, all of them were closed. It looked like an easy concept. Oh, you just have to invest in weights and get a bodybuilder and you'll run the gym and make money. And weights, you don't need to maintain, just buy them. Sounded good on paper. But once we ran the gym, salaries, expenses, municipality, sponsorship fees, and we were left less than what a employee for a multinational company was earning. It was not worth it, man. So after you spend all the money, all the effort, all the time, what is your net profit that you have to divide between you? And if you have a family, mother, father, husband, wife, daughter, children, kids, pets, what will you be left with here? You'll have to divide it among all of them, right? That's why so many people have a big business, but they're living hand to mouth. They look rich, but they're not. Most of them are hand to mouth, they have so many loans, debts, and one mistake in a business, everything will collapse. Last if not the least, if and when, it's not the question if, when you will close down. Do you know that it's not just the amount that you lost, you still have to pay more people? This is a shocking part. Your business, let's say, is at 500,000, for example, 500,000, and loss. It doesn't end at 500,000. There will be people you have to pay to. There will be shutting down costs. There will be other expenses you never thought of. And this is where people get jacked. They don't realize, oh, sheesh, man, I have to still pay the market. Maybe you supplied to a person, maybe there's after sale service, maybe there are guarantees, maybe interest. There's so many other factors. How will you manage all that? And people are not going to let go so easily. And especially if you have given PDCs and you have to pay back later, don't think you can just shut down and run away. And if you end up in a loss, business is worth maybe 500,000, but your losses can amount to 5, 6, 10 million. I'd given the example of this guy, Selva. 30 years in UAE, 30 or 40. Everything was running smooth until COVID hit. He ended up with, I think, 16 or 17 million dirhams loss. And that was after selling off all his property, all his houses, all his savings, everything. At the age of nearly 55 or 60, now he was minus 16 million. Just imagine that. Minus 16 million. It's very easy to make fun of him. He was careful. All his life he was careful. Except COVID, he couldn't do anything. So from the age of 20 till the age of 50, perfect. COVID and few mistakes. Over. See, overall, I'll tell you this much. Dubai is a place where you can make lots of money. True. But in order for you to make the money, get the money, it has to come out from somebody else's pocket. And that person had to get the money from somebody else. So that money came to him, that money came to you. And now you have to give it to somebody else. So the money that is coming to you is from somebody else. Now the question, why should somebody else give you? Biggest thing you have to ask. And Dubai is not cheap. Yes, you make tax-free money. Yes, chance to make big money. But with big rewards come big risks. Big risk, big reward. Small risk, small reward. Always keep in mind, in business, this is a fact. First 1 to 2 years, 50% shut down. So now you have 50 players. Let's say 100 people are there. In the first 2 years, 50 of them will survive, half. Second year, say third year, say the fifth year, 10% will survive. Now from 100 came to 50, came to 10 after 5 years. And the next, after 10 years, only one will survive. Only one. So 100 people were there, became 50, became 10, now only one survives. And beyond the 10-year mark, that one person either will grow, stagnate, or shut down. And growth is among those very rare people. Very, very rare. Survival, most manage. But the most predictable outcome is that 99% failure. I know you'd like to believe that you are that 1%. Who doesn't like to? Yes. But beating the odds of being 99% of the 99%, that you are the top 1%, it's like winning the lottery. We always like to read successful people, successful stories. It's good. It's inspiring, it's motivating. But don't forget, there is a graveyard of people who have lost. And we never hear about them. They never talk about it because of shame, because nobody wants to read another failure. But it's those people who can teach you the reality of life. I'll just conclude by telling you this. The goose that lays golden eggs, 1 egg per day, sometimes it's better to have that 1 egg a day rather than think, oh, if I get 10,000 eggs, or I get 10,000 goose that lay 10,000 eggs. Maintenance, expenses, yes, it's good to have all these dreams, but if it was that easy, we'd all be millionaires. Anyway, I just want to give you a dose of reality, not try and depress you. I know you'll say this happens all over the world. I don't care. I'm only bothered of what I know of the UAE. I've seen the ups and downs of business. Lower the risk, lower the reward. I would say play it safe. Because the day you lose all your money, that's it. Anyway, good, bad, ugly, feel free. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. Love to hear what you have to say. And yeah, any questions? Put them down below. This is me signing off. Take care.